Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 200 of the Ringside Rundown podcast. My name is Erik Vasquez, and joining me on the line is my podcasting partner in crime. Yes, that rhymes. Coming straight from the Berg, she is none other than Shay Hickson. Shay, what's going on, my friend? How are you?
Can't complain. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier. I am not looking forward to the draft still. Very glad I'll be out of the city for the NFL draft. I mean, I'm sure people will have a good time, but I don't want to be around that many people. It's too chaotic. Most don't know how to drive in the city anyway, so you add people who've never been here before. It's just gonna be whatever. So
Wow.
I'll be having a lovely weekend in Ohio starting. Well, my vacation technically starts tomorrow after work because I'm off. So yeah, can't
Nice.
complain about a couple days off.
Nice. Sounds like you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, it's I mean, granted, it's Ohio, so I mean, you kind of just you can only do so much in Ohio, but we got some stuff planned, so definitely looking forward to it.
Nice, nice. Well, for those of you that are new here, welcome to episode 200 of the Ringside Rundown podcast. How crazy is that? 200 episodes.
200, man. Like, it feels like we just started this like last year, but also not last year. I mean, it's been how many years now? I think 3, 4.
No, way more than that. It started in 2021.
Oh God, yeah. So it's been 5. Jesus, it is. It's insane because we still have people that have been with us since the beginning, which is insane to me. So thank you to everyone who stuck around for the last 5 years, and yeah, we're still going.
Yep.
We're still doing it, and yeah, lucky to have you all here.
Yes, thank you for the ride, everyone. For those of you that are new here that don't know what the Ringside Rundown podcast is, it is a podcast about pro wrestling where Shay and I discuss the latest happenings in the world of professional wrestling, whether it's WWE, AEW, or anything of the like. We discuss it. Usually we have listeners send us in some questions, but tonight we're going to change things up and we're going to discuss WrestleMania 42 that just happened this past weekend. And what a weekend it was. Over 106,000 fans ended up in Las Vegas for the show, for the 2-night event. And then we're going to talk about it from top to bottom and give our thoughts on the matches. Just really quickly, I know we kind of discussed it before we came on air. I thought night one was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Night one was kind of almost universally disliked compared to night two.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't agree with you that it was okay. I was in the majority on that one. I hated night one. Like, it was just awful to me. Like, I even said it in the like pre-production meeting, and almost made me not want to even watch night two. Like, I just the short matches on top of the 5 million ads, on top of we have to see Hogan's stupid fucking documentary for almost a full 40 minutes throughout both nights, on top of ESPN's app not even working properly. It buffered off and on all fucking night, both nights.
Yeah, I did have some buffering issues myself as well.
And it was annoying because it was never that kind of buffering where it's just like, oh, well, if I wait long enough, it'll just like fix itself. No, it's either you click out and go back in, or you just sit there for them to tell you, oh, yeah, the playback's not working. You have to come back out and come back in. So it's just like, I almost missed several things, and I would have been very mad if I missed a very specific thing, and we'll get to it later. But it was just like, it was, and it's so weird because then you go to night two, and night two wasn't, I mean, night two was definitely an improvement on night one, I'd say. The length of the matches were definitely longer. The quality of the matches were better. I mean, the ads were still fucking annoying, but it's just like, that's just TKO corporate at this point. But it just, to me, it just didn't really feel like a WrestleMania this year to me, which is sad, but it's the truth. It was just like all the shit going on with night one, and yeah, night two was still pretty decent, but it just was like, so this is what TKO's WrestleMania looks like, and if that's what it looks like, then I'm not too thrilled because it's just, it didn't have the magic to me that WrestleMania should have. It just felt like soulless, I guess is the best way to put it. It just felt like, I think the best way I have described it to several of my friends over the last few days was it was essentially just an MMA fight card with just a different coat of paint.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I don't mean that in a good way. That was just it's just you're gonna get 5 million ads and 2 minutes of action and you're gonna get nothing else. Like we barely even got any like backstage moments. We didn't get any of the fun stuff we're so used to having with WrestleManias. Like we couldn't even get hype packages for some stuff. Hell, some wrestlers couldn't even get entrances, and yet we had to watch 5 minutes of ads per match, like in between every match. It was just like, yeah, that was not overall too fun to watch, but yeah, it was just not my favorite, not the best. But yeah, night one just definitely did not get me off to a strong start with this show overall, but at least night two saved it a little bit, but it took a lot of work.
Yeah, well, I attribute it to the fact that kind of the big events like WrestleMania used to be the sole big event of the year. Everything else was just kind of secondary, all the other pay-per-views. Nowadays, like the pay-per-views, all of them are big, you know, and they all
Yeah.
are in stadiums and giant arenas and they garner 40 to 50,000 people. So it's kind of hard to make it feel special, you know?
I
Because
think that's the problem. It's like they go too big too often, and then it's just like, okay, well, what makes a some like a WrestleMania different than a fucking Backlash at this point? Because you're just putting them in the same type of arenas. Like you said, you're still getting tens of thousands of people, but it's just like, okay, well, what's the difference? Like, why should we care more if they're all going to be the same?
right. Right, yeah. So I think that's what it is. It's just kind of the spectacle of it all gets lost because it's been done already throughout the year with other pay-per-views, not just WrestleMania. When it used to be just WrestleMania would garner all that attention and all that fanfare and made it feel very special. Again, to me, like I understand the criticisms of night one, especially with the match lengths and the amount of ads that we got. I definitely agree on those points. It was just ridiculous. It took you out of the show completely, where every minute, like every match would happen and then you get 5 minutes worth of ads. The counter would count down the ads and you think you're going back to the show, but you would get more
Nope.
ads. You'd get
Yep.
more ads. So it was just like, really, guys, like this is I would honestly, in a wonderful world, you would think TKO would look at the feedback that they got after this WrestleMania and say, maybe we'll rework it to where we won't have so many ads and everything like that. But you can probably guess they probably don't care about any of the negative feedback that they're getting because of the ads. They're just worried about their bottom line and how much money they made.
Yeah, but the thing is too, they also have to know that the attendance really wasn't by WrestleMania standards good. It
Mm,
really wasn't. Like I remember when they announced it for night two, I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's no way that's even close to like the best. And I looked it up and WrestleMania 40 in Philly had thousands more for
mm,
both nights separately than Vegas did. And it's just like, gee, it's almost as if you gouge people for stupid prices up in peanut heaven. And then you wondered why no one was sitting up there. And you can kind of notice some of the sections were like tarped off a little bit,
mm-hmm.
which they were trying to be sneaky about it. But it's like if you look hard enough, you can see them. It's like you can see the big black curtains up there. So it's just like, yeah, guys, like you can't continue to gouge these people and then expect them to actually show up because again, that was probably I don't know how accurate it is, but a lot of people were saying that was probably the lowest attended two-night WrestleMania in like history, but
Mm.
I'd have to like do the research if that's actually true or not, but I mean it was probably pretty close to the bottom. Like again, corporate greed can only get you so far until people are tired of getting taken advantage of.
Yeah,
But
yeah, definitely. Well, why don't we get into it and talk about the matches, the actual wrestling aspect of the show, and get into all of the matches that happened. There were 7 matches on night one and 6 matches on night two. We're going to talk about them, give our thoughts, and also our match ratings. And like I said, the one thing I do notice for most of the matches on night one they were incredibly short. Multiple matches went less than 10 minutes, and that's something you kind of don't expect for a WrestleMania card.
No, especially when some of these matches had fantastic build-ups to them that you're like, oh, this is finally what we've been waiting for. And then you just sit there and you're just like underwhelmed and unsatisfied because it's just like, this is what we got. Like, I mean, obviously we'll get more into it obviously later in the card, but like especially the Liv Morgan Stephanie Vaquer match, that was the biggest travesty of this entire night, I think. But
Yeah.
I'll save my rant for that one in a minute. But yeah, it was just like you're just sitting there going, is the main event going to be a fucking hour long? Because it was just like you blinked and you missed all these matches. This was like, there was literally no chance for I mean, if you wanted to go get a drink or you had to go to the bathroom real quick, it's like you might want to go during the 20 minutes of ads because if not, you're going to miss a match.
Yeah.
Like you could have and would have. Like there were times where it's like, you know, as most people do, you sit there and you're kind of on your phone, but you're also paying attention to the match. And it's like I look down at my phone, I look back up, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's over already? Like, this isn't, I don't know. It just, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why they thought, yeah, we're just going to like speed through all these matches to get to the real main event because that's what everybody cares about. I don't know if that's like what was their reasoning, but it's just like, why did you think that was a good idea? Because everything being under 10 minutes meant people didn't really have to give a shit.
Right.
And that Vegas crowd was kind of just whatever anyway. So it's like you weren't really giving them a whole lot of reason to get invested or entertained because it's just like right when you thought things were getting interesting, it was over.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It was stupid.
Well, the first 2 matches of the night were shown on ESPN2. The opening contest of the evening was a 6-man tag match between the Usos and LA Knight taking on The Vision, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and IShowSpeed. This match went less than 10 minutes. I thought it was an okay match. I didn't think it was anything crazy or, you know, anything offensive. And I know a lot of people were wondering what was IShowSpeed going to do, if he was going to look like a goof in there. But I thought he looked athletic. He made it look interesting. And the match was okay. I don't think it was anything to write home about or anything noteworthy that definitely happened that we had to make note of, especially unless you want to talk about the ending where when the Usos and LA Knight defeated the Vision and IShowSpeed, the Vision aspect of it tend to blame IShowSpeed for the loss. Logan Paul blamed IShowSpeed and knocked him out first, and then the Usos and LA Knight came in defense of Speed and helped him out a little bit, and then coaxed Speed to get to the top turnbuckle and jump off and crash through the announce table, squashing Logan Paul underneath. That was probably the big moment of the match, came pretty much after the match was done, and everybody was yeeting, and it was okay. I thought it was a perfectly fine match that was non-offensive and a pretty good way to open the show.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, I feel like I don't think the problem I have is that when you are the opening match of a pay-per-view, let alone a WrestleMania,
Right.
you need to get the crowd into it. You need to do something to like start the show hot, pull out all the stops, do everything you possibly can, like make it a highly entertaining match because that's just how WWE's formula usually is with opening matches.
Right.
Just get the crowd into it and get everybody excited. And if that's the case, then this match failed miserably because it's like you said, it wasn't bad, but it was also just like it was kind of boring to me. I mean, Speed was good. They didn't make him to look like a fool. He definitely had his moments. So, I mean, good for him, I guess. But the fact that we could be getting at some point Speed and Logan Paul in a match is obnoxious. But
I didn't see that, but I don't think we need to see that.
I don't want them to, but it's just like I just know the TKO's not going to be able to help themselves because clearly we've seen that they love inserting celebrities where they don't belong.
Yeah.
So yeah, why not put in there? So I could just see them doing that because that's just their habit. But Yeah, the match itself was just whatever. I mean, it's just nothing. I can barely remember anything about it other than, like you said, the ending. And when the best part about the match was something that wasn't even a part of the match, it was what happened afterwards. Not a good sign. So, yeah, as far as this doesn't happen very often with me, but as far as the flames go, I just gave it a 3 flame. It didn't offend me, but it also didn't wow me either, and it didn't move me any way, shape, or form. So it's just a straight 3 flames.
I gave it 3 1/4 flames. Like I said, it wasn't anything grandiose or anything, but it wasn't anything offensive. I think a lot of people were just looking forward to seeing what ISO Speed was going to do in the ring, if he was going to be competent in the ring or made out to look like a goof. I think he was inoffensive. He was just kind of there. He was just kind of there, and the big leap from the turnbuckle after the match was over was nice. Got their viral moment, because that's what it feels like WWE is all about nowadays. Is they're getting their
Oh yeah,
viral moments.
get the clicks.
Yeah, they want the clicks. So I felt like that's why that was done. And uh also, being that this was on like cable TV, I wonder how it was received by those that were just watching that first hour just to see what the show was like. I wonder if that made any sense, like it made any movement of the needle. I would love to see the data with this associated with that, to see if there was any increase, you know?
Yeah, because I feel like that's what we talked about on the predictions episode. Is like, oh, they probably did this because they want people to get eyes on the product. But if
Right.
that's what you put out there to get people incentivized to buy your pay-per-view, then that was not a good idea at all. That was just a bad idea.
Yeah, well, I gave it 3 1/4 flames. You gave it 3 flames. It is what it is. Now it's interesting to see what they're going to do with the Vision now that a certain member is back in the fold. But we move on to the next match that was on the card. That was an unsanctioned match. This one went a little over 14 minutes long. It was Jacob Fatu taking on Drew McIntyre, and I thought it was an okay match. I would have wished there was a little bit more carnage, a
Yeah.
little bit more weaponry used, a little bit more madness. Maybe them brawling around the arena would have been cool. It seems like for WrestleMania they kind of get scared to go out into the audience, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest problem is that we're so used to like these unsanctioned like death match whatever's matches with AEW that when WWE does them, you're just like, wow, this is fucking boring because you're expecting carnage and blood and whatever.
Right.
And the biggest thing, I don't know if you noticed this too, kind of towards the middle to the end of the match when McIntyre had the wrench
Hmm.
and like stabbed Fatu in the head with it.
Right.
No blood.
No blood.
Like it's like, guys, come on, like you got to be a little more at the blunt end of the wrench too. So it's just like you could bust somebody open like that easily, and you didn't have him bleed. Like, come on, you got to be a little realistic with this kind of stuff. I think just we get both opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to like unsanctioned, no DQ street fight type matches. Because
Right.
with AEW it's so extreme, and then with WWE it's just like they're so, I don't even know what the word would be. They're just like, are they skittish or just like they don't want to be like compared to AEW, so they just pull back. But it's like, you mean the company that literally is into MMA fighting couldn't go a little bit more extreme with this match? Like, come on.
I mean, they did in the interesting part, and not to kind of jump ahead, but you look at the main event of night one and night two, both
Yeah.
had a lot of blood,
Yeah.
So
So it's like it's only a 1 match limit, I guess, on blood apparently. Like I don't know, but it's just like silly to me because it's just like you guys could have gone a little bit more. I'm not saying you have to go all out like AEW does because it's like, yeah, there are some times where we've been critical of them going way too overboard with that stuff, but then you get a WWE side of it where it's like, okay, guys, you could have done at least a little bit more. Like again, if someone beats me over the head with a solid steel wrench, I'm probably going to be bleeding a little bit. And the fact that they didn't do that just kind of annoyed me because it's just like, that's such a fine detail that you guys just missed.
mm,
But whatever. But the match itself was not bad. I mean, again, I guess I'm just so used to the AEW death matches that I was a little underwhelmed with
Right.
this one, but I guess I wasn't. I was underwhelmed, but I wasn't surprised because that's just how WWE's MO is when it comes to these type of matches. So it was fine. I gave it 3.25 flames. It was
Nice.
good, but just not as good as it could have been.
Right. I was generous. I gave it 3.5.
All right.
I felt it was a little bit better than the opener, but not by much. I would have liked a little bit more carnage, a little bit more weaponry usage, but it is what it is. I'm kind of happy Jacob Fatu ended up getting the win with the double jump moonsault through the table. So congratulations to him getting another win on WrestleMania for sure.
Yeah, but you weren't too happy about him technically winning though on paper.
Yeah, well, obviously not on paper, but I
See,
felt
I was trying to help because I honestly thought I convinced you to pick Fatu, and that's why I texted you because I'm just like, I think we're both the same. I think it's gonna come down to the main event, which thank God it didn't because you would have still had the belt. But
yeah,
yeah, and the women's tag title match didn't help because we both lost on that one. But
yeah.
yeah, thank you, Jacob Fatu, for putting the belt back where it belongs at WrestleMania. So I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for
Ouch.
doing me a solid.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Anyway, moving on to the next match, we had a fatal four-way tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. This one, the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, defended the titles against Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria, and what was supposed to be the Bella Twins, but it looks like Nikki Bella wasn't able to get cleared in time, and it looks like she's going to need surgery on that ankle. And this is something I definitely wanted to get your thoughts on. They were able to call some reinforcement, call an old friend, called in Paige to come back to the WWE and make her return to the ring in the WWE. What do you think about that moment of Paige coming back?
I mean, of course I loved it because we've talked about it plenty of times on the show that she was pretty much the main reason that I actually started to genuinely care about women's wrestling because she was the one that like didn't fit the mold and she was the one that I like saw myself in where it was like, wow, I'm not like any of the like the divas of that time. It's like I could see like I could just relate to being the outcast and like the tomboy and just like the one who doesn't look like everybody else or acts like everybody else, but it's like I don't care. And so she always has a soft place in my heart or a special place in my heart. So to see her come back with her song was just it was insane. It was just insane. Granted, I've never really been a fan of the Bellas. We've known that as well, but it's just like the timing was right and it was a convenient and good spot for her. So you know what? Good for her. The match, I feel like the match pretty much just went on to just be about Paige and really nobody else at that point.
Right.
I feel like once it was happening, I'm like, they're gonna actually win these titles, aren't they? I'm like, well, I guess Eric and I are eating this prediction because I think we both picked who did we pick? Or did you pick Bayley?
No, we picked
Lyra?
we both picked the Irresistible Forces to retain.
Okay, yeah, because we were like, I think we were kind of back and forth on them and Bayley and Lyra, I think. But yeah, I couldn't remember which one we were upside down on, but it was fine. But the more it was going on, yeah, the crowd, it was sad because I feel like once everyone knew Paige was in it, it was like nobody else in that match actually mattered.
Right.
It was just we're all just waiting for Paige, and she looked good. She looked really good.
She did. She looked really good in there. Everything looked clean, very crisp, almost like she didn't have any ring rust.
No, not at all. It was great. Yeah, but it kind of sucks because I feel like I'm glad Paige came back, but I feel like that just like overshadowed everything else in the match, which the match was, and just like you hate saying it, but it's the truth. It was like the match was okay. I mean, it was just like so oddly put together that it was just like half your teams just disappeared towards the end of the match anyway, and it was just I don't know. They could have done it so much differently, but I feel like once Nikki got involved, we kind of knew where it was going. I feel like it was always just going to be Paige and Brie at that point, but I feel like it was just to get that moment. I think because inevitably Nikki's going to get cleared at some point. She's going to want the title, so Paige is going to get kicked out at some point. So I don't think this is going to be like a very long reign. Maybe it will be. Who knows? Depends on how long Nikki's going to be out. But yeah, this one was just kind of like, yeah, we did that for the sake of, getting the crowd going, I guess. But as far as the match itself goes, I feel like if Paige wasn't in this match, I would have given it a 3, but just for the fact of at least there was some life in this match, even if it was the only thing people cared about, I'll give it 3 1/4 flames.
Yeah, nice. I gave it 3 1/4 flames as well.
Nice.
I wish there was more to add to the match. That was the only sad part because this was only 8 minutes and 33 seconds long. So for a fatal 4-way, that's not a lot of time. Although the ending sequence I thought was very slick, very well done with Nikki getting involved and Alexa coming off the top, Paige getting the knees up and then hitting the Rampage for the win. I thought that was a good finish.
Yeah.
I just one of those matches where I wish it was a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you could have said that about every match except the main event, but yeah, it's. Yeah, well, it's a little late, unfortunately, but
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Congratulations. I'm very interested in seeing what are they going to do with Paige going forward. I know she's one half of the tag champs, but like what happens is she going to have a singles run? Who can she has so many people. If she could stay healthy, she has so many people that she can go up against. That would be such a joy to watch. I can't wait.
yeah, it's like we need to see these matches because we've missed out on it for quite a while. So
I agree.
we
I
need-
agree. I think some of the matches, like I would love to see her go up against Lyra Valkyria. I think there's still meat on the bone for her and Charlotte to revisit each other. That was kind
Rhea.
of an interesting moment.
Yeah, Rhea.
Rhea definitely, because that's kind of like a clash of generations.
Yeah, that's gonna really suck for me if it happens, but you know what? I'll enjoy it when it happens in a way, but it will sucks when your favorites go against each other, but makes it entertaining at least.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Well, that was the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Congratulations to Brie Bella and Paige, the new Women's Tag Team Champions. Moving on, we had a match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between AJ Lee, the champion, defending the title against the former champion, Becky Lynch. And one thing we noted in the predictions episode is how long this feud has been between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, going back before before November?
November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Elimination Chamber, I think.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
even before that, War Games.
Yeah.
That was even before War Games. So it was interesting to see how this was going to go. We kind of figured Becky Lynch had AJ Lee's number by then, because AJ Lee was constantly picking up wins against Becky, kind of making Becky look like a full tapping out. So we figured it would be time for Becky Lynch to get her comeuppance. But this was a very well-paced match, and I thought they did a very good job.
Yeah, I would agree. It was probably one of the better matches of the night. I think the only problem I had with it is that I don't think it fully kind of lived up to a WrestleMania. What's the word? Like
Caliber?
not the yeah, WrestleMania caliber match between these two. I feel like they could have done a little bit more. I think if they wouldn't have had so much like focus on Becky and Jessica Carr, the ref. I mean, I get that that's kind of like the inside joke of like, oh, that's like Becky's actual arch nemesis is Jessica Carr, nobody else. And it's just like, okay, I get that they played into the joke a little bit, but it's also like, I think they relied on it a little too much towards the end of the match. But I feel like we feel very vindicated with Becky winning, though, because everyone thought we were nuts. I know Mom was just like, there's no way she's winning. She's not winning. We're just like, yay, just, what do we know? Just let us do our thing, and then look what happened. So it is what it is. But I just feel bad because I feel like they could have, should have done so much more with AJ's title reign. I just feel like it's the potential was there and they just didn't capitalize on it. I don't understand it, but
Right.
that's just WWE sometimes for you. It is what it is. But yeah, I definitely feel like it was a good match. It was solid. They have good chemistry. Go figure. We knew that already, but I just feel like it could have been a little bit more. Um, but I still gave it 3.5 because up until that point, that was definitely one of the better matches of the night for sure.
Oh, nice. I also gave it 3.5 flames out of 5.
Of course.
Congratulations to Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. The only really thing that I wish I would have came out of this match again, we've said it a million times about the matches on night one. I wish it had more time. You know, I wish they were able to build up a little bit more drama to the finish. They all kind of felt flat, you know?
Yeah, it's just an ongoing theme, I guess. But yeah, it was just like we need more. Just give us more, and we just weren't getting it.
Right. Well, a match that definitely gave us more in terms of time, and probably the best match of night one, in my opinion, was between Gunther and Seth Rollins. Both had basically the match you would expect them to have. The caliber of performers that they are, you know they're going to deliver on a high level, and they kind of really did. I think it was the best match of the night. This one went almost 18 minutes long, and we saw the return of Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
What'd you think about Braun Breaker returning?
I mean, he killed Seth on that run, on that spear. Good lord, but I mean, we kind of saw it coming. I mean, it was just kind of a matter of time, but I don't think it really. I don't think it really added to the match. I feel like the match was just good. It was already good enough that I don't think it really needed it. I mean, it could have happened afterwards, maybe, but I still think it was good. Again, like Braun, every time he's charging up for a spear, you just know someone's gonna die, and poor Seth sure ate that one on the outside there. But as far as the match itself, yeah, it was. I would say definitely up there with best match of the night. It probably was the best match of the night. I have to say, before the match even started, that gear that Rollins had, that was so fucking cool. The way he just like, I don't know how he took those contact lenses out that quickly. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know how he did it because I don't wear contacts. I only ever wear them for like cosplays and stuff. And normally it takes me about like, oh, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes just to put them in, let alone take them out. Take them out's easy for me, but not that easy. Not enough that it's like you can turn around and in 2 seconds they're just gone. Like, so I don't know if he practiced it a lot or just there was something with it that I don't know, but it's like, you know what, just that was just super cool. It was a good start. But I think the only thing that really took away from this match was the crowd. The crowd was so weird for this
Mm.
one. Like, I don't know what was up with them. It kind of looked like Rollins was just like telling them, hey, you need to really just like react to this. It was just so weird to me, but I don't know. I mean, again, that's just the Vegas crowd for you. They were kind of weird last year and it didn't really change much this year, but yeah, it was I feel like sometimes I think the issue WWE has is that they kind of like put you mentally into a mindset for a match that you feel like, okay, well, we didn't really need to like do that because I feel like it kind of took away from it. I think that was another issue is because Michael Cole was just going on multiple times, like over and over and over again, of like, oh, this isn't gonna be a technical masterpiece, guys. This is just gonna be a fight, and it's just like, yeah, but you're kind of taken away from the fact that both of them are very good technically in their own right.
Right.
So I don't know why you had to make it sound like, no, this isn't going to be a technical classic. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out brawl because. Like, literally no reason to just because. But I think it kind of did the match a disservice a little bit, but they still had a very great match. I definitely agree with you that it was probably the best match of the night for sure. So I gave it 3 3/4 flames.
Nice, nice. I gave it 4 flames because
Yeah.
I felt like it felt like a WrestleMania match to me. It felt
Yeah.
like the chemistry was just there. Gunther has really been someone that I found can have good matches with just about anybody. He can have good matches with anyone. He has good chemistry with just about anybody. Rollins is Rollins. Rollins is gonna, even on a bent back paperclip like kneecap, he's gonna give you a good performance. So it was just destined to probably be the best match of the night, and that definitely was. Gunther gets the win over Seth Rollins with a referee stoppage because Braun Breaker interfered without the referee knowing, allowing Gunther to put on the sleeper hold, and Seth Rollins pass out, doesn't answer the ref, so he calls for the bell. So that one went, like I said, close to 18 minutes long. It was the second longest match, first being the main event. But before we get to the main event, we had a match for the Women's World Championship where Stephanie Vaquer defended the title against Liv Morgan. I was really looking forward to this one. I was kind of let down by it, not by their fault, but I think this one must have been cut for time because this was a little less than 7 minutes long. This was not long by any standard of being, and something, I don't know. Hopefully they run it back at Backlash or something, because God, they need to have a 20-minute, 25-minute banger, not a less than 7-minute little shit.
Yeah, that really pissed me off because this had probably one of the best builds of WrestleMania.
For sure.
Because these two were just going in there week in and week out and just beating the absolute shit out of each other. So it was like, oh my God, I cannot wait for these two to actually get in the ring. They're going to tear each other apart. This is going to be like a high energy, just like instant classic. And then we got that. It's just like, what the fuck was that? It just fucking annoyed me because it's just like, you guys had the best storyline going into this show and you still found a way to somehow just mess it up. It deserved way more than what was it, like not even 7 minutes, like 6 minutes and 50 something seconds or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but not enough time. You should have given them 15 minutes at least, because you mean to tell me if you would have cut some of those ads, you could have had time for more of the, like, all of these matches should have had more time. But
Right.
I just don't know why we felt the need to only have not even an hour of wrestling on a 3-hour show. That's just ridiculous. It's just annoying. But I will give them props. They did what they could in the time they had. They could have easily just phoned it in and just given us a clunker, but no, they still went all out on it, even if it was just pretty much just their signature offense, and that's all they could really do. So it's like, I give them props for, for just doing what they could with the shit time they had. But it's just like, I feel like it felt like we were almost kind of going backwards with like the women's matches, because consistently it was like they're getting 10, 15, 20-minute matches, and now it's like you couldn't bother to give them even 10 minutes. Like, what are we doing here? It just, it was so underwhelming. I hated it. It's just, and it's tough because it's like, how do you rate that then? Because it's just like, you almost can't really separate the fact that the match was so short and we expected so much more and we got nothing. But I guess, I guess for what we had, I'll just give it. I'll just give it 3.25 because it deserved 10 more minutes easily, and that could have easily been a 3.75 or even a 4-star match or a 4-flame match. So screw the creative in the back for really robbing us of a lot. So hopefully we get a rematch, and I mean, it's a little late at this point, but why not now, I guess. But we called it. Liv won, so we were good on that one. But I feel bad for both of them because they just were given a disservice.
Yeah, Liv wins thanks to the distractions led on by her Judgment Day compatriots, Roxanne and Raquel. She hits a code breaker from the second row, followed up by a second Oblivion, and she gets the win to become a 3-time women's world champion. So congratulations to Liv. Again, the one thing I can say about all of this, as though as it was poorly received on night one. I still look forward to seeing what the aftermath of all of this is going to be. What is this going to lead into? Backlash, what is that going to look like? Like I said, hopefully this gets run back on Backlash and gets more time. Maybe even a stipulation like a steel cage match. You know,
Maybe.
that would be fun.
Yeah, you got to give us something because I feel like they owe us now. So we need an IOU from them, and their next match better knock our socks off because whatever match they're probably going to get next is what we should have gotten now, but I guess better late than never, I guess, but holy fuck, that still just annoyed me.
Yeah, well, after that match, John Cena comes out to give the attendance announcement, which comes out to be 50,816, then followed by an appearance by Bianca Belair. It was good to see Bianca Belair, who had a big announcement to make. Her and Montez Ford are expecting a bundle of joy, so congratulations to Bianca and Montez. They're going to have a little superstar on their hands, a little freak athlete. That's it's probably going to be a WWE superstar. That would be pretty cool, but congratulations to Bianca and Montez Ford.
Yeah, it's bittersweet though because we've been, waiting for her to come back for a year now at this point, and you see her come back and we're like, oh, thank God it's finally happening, like something's gonna happen, and then, but good for them though. They deserve it. Like you said, the kid's gonna be a freak athlete. It's just not gonna be fair. Like kids are gonna have no chance against them. But no, good for them. But it's gonna suck not seeing her for a little while longer. But it happens.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you can only wish that maybe like, it's the same situation with Naomi. You know that they want to be parents and that's important to them, and you just wonder how long they're going to be away
Yeah.
from the show and everything like that. But all the best to them. Congratulations once again to Bianca and to Montez Ford, who we ended up seeing on Monday Night Raw. The Street Profits made their return. I know we're kind of jumping ahead, but it kind of ties into, but it's good to see the Street Profits back.
Yeah.
And they made it back to Monday Night Raw, making the save for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, it was definitely good to see them back. It's almost just like you almost forgot that they were gone because it's just like, oh yeah, I guess they really were gone for a little while. But no, it's good to have them back because tag division can always use more people. I mean, that's just how it is. But no, it's definitely good to see them back.
For sure, for sure. And that leads us into the main event where Cody Rhodes defended the WWE Undisputed Championship against Randy Orton, who had Pat McAfee in his corner briefly because they tried to get the jump on Cody before the bell rang, and that ended up backfiring as Pat McAfee was taken out by Jelly Roll, and he had to be stretchered out. He ended up making another appearance, coming down to the ring in a referee shirt and a neck brace, trying to get the jump and help Randy Orton secure his 15th World Championship. It didn't work out that way. I liked the match because I liked the storytelling that they were trying to tell around Randy Orton's back, and something was wrong with his back and they didn't know if he could continue and stuff like that. I was just confused as to why he decided to attack the referee and then attack Pat McAfee.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of questionable things in this match for sure. Like, why were we doing this whole see, and it was so funny to me because we had kind of predicted that Sammy and Trick Williams were going to do the double turn, and then we're kind of sitting there watching this match, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, they're going to actually do a double turn here, aren't they? Because this is weird, because it was like you had Orton as the heel, you had Cody as the face, and then it was like you blinked, and then all of a sudden it was like Cody's acting like an asshole, and Orton's getting the crowd behind him, and it's just like, are we actually gonna do this? I guess, sure. But then by the end of the match, it was just like, okay, yeah, no, just kidding, guys. Forget we even did that through the whole match. Cody's still the good guy, Randy's the bad guy, and it's just like, what the fuck was that? Like, what was that? It was just, but to be fair, it was just par for the course with this mess
Yeah. Oh, I think we
Be just as confusing as the story itself.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know, man. It was just like it's just I don't know. The match itself was good. Yeah, it's just a little annoying how Randy and McAfee's entrances combined were longer than Stephanie and Liv's match, which
Yeah.
like yeah, it totally makes sense, guys, because that's what we pay to see is people slowly walk to the ring. But yeah, no, that it was a main event match that was a letdown. That was an absolute letdown. It was just the crowd didn't buy it either. They were not having it at the end. And of course, the more exciting stuff happened afterward. But even then, it was just like, okay, this is a thing, I guess. But this just kind of confirmed that night one was just a clusterfuck for me. But it was just a mess. That's just what it was. It was a mess. And I gave it, I mean, I'm probably being really mean on this one, but it's true. I gave it 3.25 flames because it was just like, what are we fucking doing here? I don't think they knew what they were doing, but it's just, I couldn't do it.
Gotcha. I gave it 3.5. I did enjoy the storytelling that they were trying to tell with Randy Orton's back. Just a little confusing, a little bit of a clusterfuck, you know. Definitely a little bit of a clusterfuck towards the end there. But like you said, what's more memorable is probably what happened after the match while Cody was celebrating his win. Randy Orton takes the title from him and bashes him over the head and then hits him with an 09 punt kick to the side of the head. Now, Cody's face looks disgusting.
Fucked up, yeah.
Yeah, it looks disgusting. Like, it looked like his eyes shifted. Like, that's how swollen it was. It was just disgusting. I did not enjoy looking at that one bit.
No, and it progressively looked worse going into Raw. It was just not good at all. Christ. I just I think the biggest problem, I mean, besides the laundry list of problems that night one had, I think the biggest issue was that you had Nick Khan and Pat McAfee going on blabbing their mouths about how, oh, we're gonna over deliver, guys, don't you worry, this is gonna be a great WrestleMania and everyone's gonna over deliver for you, just you wait. And then you come out with that shit on night one. Like, that's your version of over delivering? Like, that's the best you can do. Like, guys, give me a break. Like, I don't know. It was just so dumb, but it was just par for the course for night one. But like I said, at least night two was marginally better, but still just couldn't get the taste out of my mouth from night one because it was just so bad.
Well, like you said, thankfully we have a whole other night of WrestleMania action to go over if night one wasn't your fancy. I feel like night two definitely brought it. They definitely, a lot of the matches were great. I thought, so, the matches, being that some of them, they were a little bit longer than what on night one you would expect.
Yeah.
They got a little bit of extra time to shine and do everything. But let's get right into it. The show opens up, and mind you, the first hour was on ESPN. So the show opens up with Brock Lesnar taking on Obafemi, the WrestleMania rookie. Now, this was the shortest match of the entire weekend, but probably one of the most impactful between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. This wasn't a squash match by any means, but this was a quick little brawl, less than 5 minutes, and they got it done. Obafemi hits the fall from grace powerbomb on Brock Lesnar, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. Obafemi gets the win. What'd you think of the match? I know you're not too big on Brock Lesnar, but I gotta get your opinion on this match.
Yeah, I mean, we've unfortunately known that Lesnar's MO is never long drawn out like fights. They're always get it done, get out, whatever.
Right.
So it has definitely fit that bill. It was definitely short, but it did what it needed to do. It just showed that Obafemi's the next like big guy in WWE, and surprisingly, Lesnar actually played ball. He didn't make Obafemi look dumb. It didn't make him look incompetent. He made him look great, and that's what should have happened. And good for Oba. I mean, we would have been very annoyed if Lesnar ended up winning that because they would have had no reason to have him doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the match itself was great. As far as supposedly Lesnar retiring, I guess that seems to be the speculation, even though no one's saying it. I'm just kind of, I don't give a shit at all. Like, I'm not like all these people chanting "Thank you, Lesnar" and
Yeah.
so sad and oh my God, let's not. It's like I don't fucking care. I don't. I've never been a Lesnar fan, so him leaving really does nothing for me. So whatever. But yeah, the match itself was good for what it was. I gave it I mean, I can't grade it too high because it was just short, but I gave it a 3.5 flames.
I gave it a high mark because I was just so like I'm glad we didn't get a squash match, right?
Yeah.
But it was to me, I was so impressed by Lesnar playing ball. You know,
Yeah.
because
He never does.
yeah, because you never know what you're gonna get with Brock Lesnar if he's gonna want to play fair, and if
Yeah.
he's gonna want to put somebody over, as they say. So when he did that and he did it in this way, I was just like, wow. So I gave the match 4 flames even because I was just like, good for Obafemi. This is gonna be a memorable moment for him. This is gonna be a memorable moment in his career, and it's gonna make him a big deal.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, this was a slam dunk case of the outcome of this match shouldn't be a question. And if you think it is, then you need to think again. So I'm glad they got that right. And it's kind of sad that I feel like Oba got like one of the loudest reactions out of both nights. Definitely bigger than anything really in night one, I think. But they were losing it over him. But for good reason, though, because he deserves it.
Yeah, he's definitely very popular with the crowd.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, he is. And yeah, I feel like it's kind of full circle too, because I mean, it shouldn't really have been a surprise though to have him win, but I'm sure there were some people that were still shocked because again, you kind of just wonder if Lesnar's going to play ball or anything, but kind of that full circle moment of like, Lesnar kind of surprisingly beat Undertaker at WrestleMania, and then again to some people, Oba surprisingly beat Lesnar because he's supposed to be this unstoppable force, and he met his match, I guess. But yeah, definitely good match, and everything after that I don't care, but match was good.
Well, yeah, like you said, it's still not confirmed, but what it did look like was that Brock Lesnar is hanging it up in the ring. He left his gloves and his wrestling boots in the middle of the ring. So it looks like he is done. And so be it, I guess. I'm not a big Brock Lesnar guy, so I don't really have that thank you Lesnar like everybody decided to do.
Yeah,
I
like
just thought
fell
that,
for it. It's like,
yeah,
sure.
I just thought that was so silly. Anyway, yeah, so yeah, I thought the match was good at least. So at least he went out on a good note. Moving on, we had a 6-pack ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship where Penta defended the title against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. Now, to me, this was a perfect ladder match. You couldn't get a better ladder match. You had the right amount of carnage, the right amount of oh my god moments. They definitely showed out.
Yeah, I feel like it's I wouldn't say ladder matches are like tough, but I feel like it's always kind of can go either way because we've seen so many of them that it's just like you kind of know what to expect when it comes to ladder matches. You know, there's going to be a lot of crazy spots and ooh ah moments and whatever, but I feel like when you have a nice mix of like talent that you did in this match, you're going to have something really special. And yeah, this one was fun to watch. This one was definitely fun to watch. Everyone got their time to shine. Javon Evans is oh god, it was I don't know how if he came out of that unscathed, I would be very surprised because he took a beating in this match. Good lord, like poor guy, um But the cutter on Rusev was super cool. I mean, granted, we've seen it before, but it still isn't any less cool when you see it again. But yeah, I feel like and Ray still got it.
Yeah,
He's still doing crazy shit that he probably shouldn't be doing.
I
But you
was
know
thinking the
what?
same
Good,
thing.
good
Like,
for him.
how is he still doing this at his age?
Yeah, I don't know, just it's Fountain of Youth, I guess. Maybe I don't know. It's the mask has special powers. I guess it keeps him young. But now he good for him, good for everybody. Like I said, there really wasn't any like stinkers in these matches, to be honest. I mean, McDonough, as usual, got the shit kicked out of him because that seems to be his MO when it comes to these kind of matches. But
Yeah.
yeah, everyone got their time to shine. There was a lot of cool moments, and Penta keeps his title. I think we both picked Javon Evans, did we, or did you say
Yeah, we
Penta?
both picked Javon Evans.
Yeah, which I mean that sucks, but I mean, give Penta some more time with it. I mean, Evans is definitely going to get it at some point, but nah, I'm not mad about Penta keeping it for a little while longer.
All right, so as far as the rating out of 5, what'd you give it?
I gave it 3 3/4 flames.
I too gave it 3 3/4
Nice.
flames. I thought it was a perfectly well constructed ladder match between 6 people, which is never easy to do. So
Yeah.
good on them, and congratulations to Penta on defeating everyone and continuing his reign as Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, good for him.
All right, so moving on, we had a match for the United States Championship where Sami Zayn defended the title against Trick Williams, who came out in a long white fur coat. Came out with Little Yachty, who I kind of feel like would make a great manager. I feel like would
Yeah.
make a great manager for Trick Williams. He's willing to get his ass kicked as he did tonight against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn ended up throwing him into the barricade, but that wasn't enough because Trick Williams was able to hit the trick shot and defeat Sami Zayn and take the United States Championship away from him in a match that was a little over 7 minutes long. What'd you think of the match?
Again, it should have been longer. It should
Mm,
have been much longer, but it was still very good. Surprised that what we kind of predicted didn't happen. They didn't go for the double turn with both of them,
right.
but I feel like they can do it later on. I feel like you have to make Trick more of a good guy now because I feel like the crowd's just shown you they're not going to boo him. They're just going to refuse to do it. And I feel like they can lean Sammy into kind of a more, I don't know, I guess like tortured soul kind of heel persona. Why not? But I feel like that could probably do him some good because obviously the crowd's a little sick of him and what he is now. So not surprised though, the Trick one. I feel like that was just always his match to lose at that point. Like you had to give it to him. He was too hot with the crowd. He was on too much of a momentum swing. You had to give him this title, but no, it was really good. Sammy made him look great. I mean, Trick made himself look great too, but they both worked off each other really well, had some really good chemistry, and yeah, good for Trick though. I've always liked him. He's been really cool, and that long
Mhm.
train on that coat is just like I'd like to know the like explanation he gave like the designer or whatever where they're like, oh well, how long do you want the coat to be, and he was just like, yes,
Yes.
just yeah,
Yeah.
give
Uh,
me into the entire yard of fabric plus 5.
that was
And
incredible.
it was so cool, but probably one of the cooler entrances I think of WrestleMania. But no, good for him for winning. I gave this match 3.5 flames.
I also gave this match 3.5 flames.
Nice.
So we're both on the same page with that. I'm very interested in seeing how Sami Zayn is going to change his character. He's definitely, obviously, seeing the reception that he's getting. So he's definitely probably feeling the heat, knowing that he's going to have to maybe change some things up. And I'm interested in seeing what direction he's going to go.
Yeah, I feel like I said, they have to take him down a dark turn at some point because it's not working the other way right now. You gotta switch something up with him. So it'll be interesting to see how dark they have him lean into.
All right, all right. So moving on, we had a match. It was a street fight between Dominic Mysterio and his former Judgment Day running buddy Finn Balor, who came in as the Demon. They didn't really let this be a surprise. Like, I wish they would have let it be a surprise, but it was still cool to see the Demon. He had a very cool entrance. I thought one of the better entrances of the night.
Yeah, it was so cool to see it back, and I just loved that like that creepy like video on the Titantron, or like the board of like the souls getting stuck in like hell essentially. It was super cool. It was so good to see the Demon again. I'm glad that they kind of just let him do his thing, because let's be honest, the last few matches with the Demon on the main roster were crap, to be honest. They were not great, but no, I'm glad that they finally let him just go full throttle with it.
Right.
Except I feel like, again, I had the same problem with this match as I did with McIntyre and Fatu's fight the previous night. Is it's just like, guys, we need more. We need more. You guys are in a street fight. Like, give us something more. I mean, I don't know, but I do agree with you on the surprise factor. That would have been such a cool like moment for like that's their thing. They want the viral WrestleMania moments, whatever. That would have been the perfect thing to do, is that everyone expected just Finn, and then all of a sudden the Demon shows up and it's like super cool, but again, another missed opportunity. But yeah, no, they needed to give that win to Finn, because God, can you imagine the Demon losing again? Like, that would have been brutal. That just would have been absolutely brutal. But yeah, the match was solid. I wanted so much more than I got, so I gave it 3.25 flames.
I ended up giving it 3.5 flames. I thought it was good. I thought Dominic Mysterio, the only down is like he didn't really give me anything different than what you would expect from Dominic Mysterio, where the Demon
Yeah.
kind of carried the match. I felt like the Demon definitely carried the load for the match, and but it was still good. It was still serviceable, so I gave it 3.5 flames out of 5.
All right, we can be different this time.
Nice. All right, so moving on, we had a match for the Women's Championship between Jade Cargill defending the title against Rhea Ripley. And the only gripe, I wish this maybe would have gotten about 5 minutes longer.
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, we could have said that for pretty much any of the women's matches this entire show, is that it needed more. But I think we can say, for as critical as we've been of Jade for pretty much her entire wrestling career, she rose to the occasion. Do I think it was a absolute like classic? Oh my God, this is the best WrestleMania, like whatever, Matt. No, like it's not even close. But Rhea did what they set out to do, and that was to give Jade, I mean, without a doubt, her best match in WWE, like bar none. You could probably even argue like her best match period
Right.
that she's had.
Yeah.
But that's just Rhea. Go fucking figure that probably the biggest star in your women's division and or the entire company can pull good matches out of inexperienced people. Go fucking figure. Like, not surprised there. I think the only problem I had was kind of just the interference, because I feel like you should have or could have kind of leaned more into what they were kind of doing before that, where Rhea was taking out BFAB and Michin already. So it's just like, okay, well, I get they had to bring him back because you needed to get Io in there because you needed the feel good moment, whatever. So I get it. I feel like, did the match really need it? No. Like you said, if just given more time and it would have been even better. But I'm just glad that it wasn't, I'm not going to say a complete clunker, but I'm just glad that it wasn't just like, oh God, Rhea really had to pull overtime in this match. It's like, no, Jade rose to the occasion and matched with Rhea as best as she could, and can't really complain about that one. And I'm glad Rhea has a title around her waist where it belongs, as we kept saying. So I gave this one 3.5 flames.
Nice. I gave it 3.75 flames. My favorite part was the very end. I thought the counter to Jaded into the riptide. I thought that was slick. It was really nicely done how she slid through the legs and maintained control of the wrist so that way she could hit the riptide. I thought it was really cool. So I gave it 3 3/4 flames. And I'm happy. I'm happy for Rhea Ripley. I think it's going to be very interesting seeing her on SmackDown. Kind of happy she's getting away from Io. I mean, I love Io
Yeah.
Sky, but I want to see them separated. I like the wrestling separate, So
Yeah, they're good together, but they're great separate.
yeah, exactly. That's a great
Yeah.
way to put it. That's a great way to put it, and that's definitely how I feel. So I'm interested in seeing what Rhea Ripley is going to be doing on SmackDown as the women's champion.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I feel like we're finally gonna get to see that title clearly defended more often because I think that was the biggest gripe we had with Jade with that title was that she did really nothing with it. So
Right.
with Rhea, they're gonna be forced to do something because you're not gonna put your biggest star on the shelf or just like in the background doing nothing. That title's gonna get put to the forefront where it belongs, and I'm excited to see what they can do.
Yes, yes. So once again, congratulations to Rhea Ripley for winning the women's championship, and also congratulations to Jade Cargill for shutting up the haters, and actually having
Yeah.
a decent match.
Yeah, we got to give it to her. We're not the biggest Jade Cargill fans, but we'll give her credit where credit's due. She rose to the occasion.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And now that brings us to the main event of the entire event, really. The one match that I was looking forward to, and I feel like it gave me exactly what I was looking for. I felt like it delivered on all fronts. I'm talking about CM Punk defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns. The entrances were fantastic. I can't believe we heard AFI on WrestleMania. That
That
was
was so wild.
that was just like high school me was just like freaking the fuck out. Like this is
Yeah.
like one of
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite bands of all time, and I'm hearing them on WrestleMania, so I was like freaking the fuck out. But they were fantastic. The match itself was just great. The match
Yeah.
itself, I can't, there's no there. It's just it was perfectly constructed. The pacing was great. It was back and forth. They had the drama. They had the suspense. They had Punk being a little shit and low blowing
Mm.
Roman and trying to hit him with the GTS. And then they tried to do the spot where like he hits him with the GTS. They fall back off the ropes and he couldn't get it done. So it's kind of like, man, is he really old like Roman Reigns said he is? And then Roman hits him with the super spear coming off the ropes and ends up getting the win. And Roman is the new world heavyweight champion. Man, what a match. I enjoyed it so very much. Probably up until this point, my match of the year.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
I gave it 4.5 flames out of 5. What about
Mm.
you?
All right. Yeah, this was easily the best match of the entire like weekend period. Like, and it wasn't even close. Like these two were it was so good. The thing that like I thought was rather interesting was that I was seeing a lot of people say like, "Oh, well, Punk just I don't know, man, he just looks really slow and everything he's doing is just kind of like 2 seconds behind and oh
Really?
my god, and what's up with that?" And I'm like, guys, that's the whole fucking point of the story. Like feel like sometimes the obvious just eludes people. That was kind of the whole point of this match. That was the whole story of this match where it was like Roman was the younger, fresher guy and was willing to do more and he could withstand more and he could hang longer and longer the match went on and Punk was showing his age and it's like that's the whole point because now you have Punk going, do I still have it in me to keep doing this? And Roman's just going to stay at the top of the mountain because just that's what Roman does and apparently he's actually going to be full time this summer.
Yeah,
So
I'll believe it when I see it.
yeah, it's like well, we'll see, but I mean, he seems to think he's going to be there all summer, so whatever. But it's just like, guys, that was the whole point of it was who's going to be able to outlast the other, and Punk just couldn't keep up after a while. He just like he was running on fumes, and Roman took advantage of it. So yeah, that was the point of this match. So the storytelling in this was fantastic.
Mm.
The wrestling in it was fantastic. I can't complain there, but like I said, definitely the best match of the entire weekend, bar none. And I too gave it 4.5 flames.
Nice, nice. Usually we don't rate that high.
No, but some of them you just have to.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, for sure. I am definitely interested in seeing if Roman Reigns is going to hold up his end of the bargain and actually be a part of WWE for the summer. It looks like he's going to start with Jacob Fatu. If you were watching the
Yeah.
Raw after Mania, which is very very interesting. I was not expecting that at all. That interaction, and it looks like we're going to get Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll take the surprise because, I mean, we've seen what Roman can do with the title, but it's also what more could he do with the title? So I was genuinely happy to be surprised like
For
that.
sure.
So we'll see how this one goes.
For sure. All right, guys, there you have it. That is our rundown of WrestleMania 42. Another WrestleMania has came and went. This one ended up landing on episode 200 of the Ringside Rundown podcast. And now we get to the fun of starting the calendar year over and seeing what is going to happen throughout the wrestling year. And Ringside Rundown is going to be here with you throughout the entire way.
Yeah, just when you think you're done, we're not done. We're gonna keep going
Yeah,
because we have to. It never stops. There's no off season.
no off season indeed. This is a 365 7 days a week type of deal here with the wrestling. So just to let you guys know, you can find this podcast on all podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Audible. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find this podcast simply by searching Ringside Rundown and hitting the follow or subscribe button, whatever the platform asks of you. Now, if you cannot find the podcast on a certain platform but would like to get it there, all you have to do is hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Let us know what platform you use. We will get you that link on a silver platter, but the caveat is you have to give the silver platter back because it belongs to Shay's mom and she's crazy. She competes in Bloodsport. She was competing in Bloodsport this past weekend. That's why they said no more Bloodsport. We're shutting it down.
I was literally gonna say the same thing. I was just like, she was too extreme. They had to shut it down.
They had to shut it down.
You need to know.
She's too extreme. There you have it. So get the silver platter back to Shay's mom, but make sure you get the link on whatever platform you use so that way you can listen to the Ringside Rundown podcast. Like I said, we're available all across the board on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Ringside Rundown. You can follow us on TikTok. That's at ringside_rundown. And you can also get this episode and many other things on our YouTube channel that has over 2,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So you can get all types of stuff, including full episodes of the podcast if you go to youtube.com/@ringside_runpod. And another thing I want to let you guys know about is the live streams that we do. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, I am online, whether it's Twitch or YouTube. Pick your choice, whatever you want to use. Twitch.tv/Ringside Rundown. Once again, on YouTube at Ringside Run Pod. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday for WWE and AEW programming, including WWE PLEs. I got to say, this past weekend for WrestleMania, they really showed out on Twitch. They went crazy. We had a lot of engagement throughout the weekend, a lot of follows, a lot of love. So I can't thank you guys for all of the support over on the Ringside Rundown Twitch channel. Thank you so much for the love. And Shay, where can they get in touch with you?
You can find me on my wrestling Twitter at @ShayRingside_. And just like we always say, it's just like Eric's, except I copied the homework a little bit.
Yeah, I let her copy. Don't worry, guys. No need to get on her case. I let her have it. I was being generous.
Yeah, right. He's such a good guy. Just let me take that. So I appreciate it.
No problem. Well, we'll be back with another episode on Wednesday. This one, I believe, we don't have any pay-per-views to cover or anything like that, so it might be a questions episode.
Or we may do something different. Who knows, guys? May do a possibly get to know us episode. Maybe we'll see. We'll talk about it, but just get those questions ready, just in case, just saying.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Ringside Rundown podcast. Tell your friends, tell your family members to check it out all across the board on all podcast platforms. Thank you, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.
See you later, guys.